I'd like to start with some figures. According to our latest research, the hand design furniture consumption worldwide was about 23 billion US dollars last year, including living and bedroom, lighting, bathroom, kitchen, and outdoors. Furniture, high-end furniture, is not comprehensive enough to represent all the design-led industry, but anyway, I have a specific purpose to focus on it, because the good news is that 2011, the figures for 2012, sorry, were the same of the consumption had in the year 2007 before the global financial crisis. The good news for us Italians is that 60% of this worldwide consumption pertains to Italian companies, and the rest is divided among German, Swiss, British, and US companies. 60% is a stunning percentage, a stunning amount. To reach this market share and to keep it for decades, you need specific conditions and characteristics that rarely happens to appear in the same time and in the same place. This happened in Italy within the industry of creativity. Italy is the only industrialized country, the only OECD country with a positive balanced trade in the fashion, design, and high-quality machinery sectors. In many sectors, Italy is one of the world's leading exporters or one of the very top, if not the actual top exporter among OECD countries. Such a significant degree of competitiveness, at least in the mid-tier and top end of the market, is the result of a number of structural and organizational features of these industrial sectors. The first factor is the presence in Italy of the entire pipelines. The verticalization of project manufacturing, design, and distribution give to our sectors the opportunity of having an effective collaboration at the different stage of each pipeline, which enables an exchange of technological know-how, focusing all the enterprises, even those that are most upstream, on shifted demand. This reduces the time to market and leads in the lead time between the innovation concept and the moment then the final product reaches the market. The second factor is the fact that in the same pipeline, the presence in the same pipeline has led to the parallel development of important sectors offering professional services from one side and machinery on the other side. And this has brought about a mutual stimulus for innovation in both products and processes. It has also brought about the development of service products, which play an important role in customizing the end product. Designers and entrepreneurs are the two categories that brought about this long period of success. Designers and entrepreneurs and the way they interact are the very actors of the business model of the Italian design and fashion sectors. From one side, designers capable of constantly shifting forward the frontiers of good taste, and from the other side, entrepreneurs capable of creating the technical, organizational, and economic means required for turning design into finished products, creative dreams into items and products with a great symbolic value, and always while developing the product of tomorrow and being consistent with the identity and the DNA and the value of each of their companies. Over the past decades, the ability to manage relationship with external and internal creative workers has had a decisive impact on the relationship with the final consumers in the single brand stores and more in general in relations with both the brand and the company. 8, a final factor. This has enabled many companies to develop significantly at the downstream end of the value chain into the retail distribution area. In just a few decades, companies that work at the start of the chain worked first to create their finished products and then brought about growth in positioning before moving even further toward the end and setting up brand name stores in countries around the world. In other words, in a sector in which the product maintains its capital importance, the ability to manage a relationship between the end consumer, the intermediary, the brand, and the company became widespread, creating a total shopping experience. Altogether, these 8 factors have enabled the creative industry of Italy to become the most competitive one of all industrialized countries. And now, one success case of the business model I have just presented to you. Thank you.
Whether everybody knows Boffi here or not. How many people do know Boffi? Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not so many. Not so many, so I think we need much better marketing here in India because nobody knows about our company. But that's good because you have to know, and you will believe me since you don't know the company, this is the best Italian kitchen company you can imagine. So this is what you will see. I hope you will be convinced by the end of this presentation. Okay, so I give you a sort of general presentation of the company because, you know, a kitchen company basically is a very, very sophisticated and complex company. And I very much appreciated the intervention of Nick Talbot before because I think that it really suits perfectly well for a kitchen company. A kitchen company is a company that produces creativity in its products, of course, and in many of the areas of its activity. But then there is in the back a factory, a complex system of logistics, really, really sophisticated, that has to be incredibly well constructed. Otherwise, you're not able to deliver to the customer what he is expecting. You know, we have incredibly rich, sophisticated, demanding, sometimes arrogant customers that want something absolutely perfect. And to make this absolutely perfect, you need a company in the back that is incredibly well organized. So this is the task of a kitchen company, more maybe than other companies in our field. Well, I start my presentation with always with people, because I think the companies are made out of people. So if the people are good, if they have a lot of passion, if they have a vision, if they have the capacity to drive their companies with a lot of strength, then the companies can be successful. Well, I hope this couple will convince you. On the left, you see Paolo Boffi, the son of the founder, who accepted me as a partner in 1989, 1990. And I was very lucky to come on board and become his partner and work together to do a very, very enthusiastic and hopefully good project. We have a third person. This person, Piero Lissoni, the art director of the company. I imagine more of you may know about Piero Lissoni than Boffi. He's a great architect, a very good designer, working for many companies like Cassina, like Floss, like Cartel, like Alessi, and many others. But most of it, it's a great art director. So a person that really helped, especially me, that I was totally ignorant when I came into this industry. Before I used to work for computers, so I didn't know anything about design. Extremely to rebuild from zero, and Piero really helped me very much. So the three of us, Paolo, Piero, and myself, we went on in a company that had already an incredible, fantastic base. The history, I think the history of a company is always extremely important, because when you have a great history, there is a strong layer of things on which you can build a lot. And if the history is a good history, like the one we have, I think you can really build something good. In the middle, the little baby that you see, it looks like a lady. It's not a lady, it's Paolo Boffi, my partner today. So there he is when he was 4, very young. So in terms of the history of the company, we always had a great passion for design and for contemporary products and for the high end of the market. So some of our products were really in this direction, like the only one I show you here, that is the Joe Colombo mini kitchen that was exposed in so many museums around the world. That was really a brilliant piece because it was, in those years, the 60s, something extremely new for that time. A little kitchen that you can use everywhere in a small place or outdoor or anywhere, containing most of what you need to cook for 2 people. Here I show you some graphs, but I don't want to insist very much here. My people have prepared these big cakes that I don't like very much, but the company, this project started in the 90s, where we were a small company, basically an Italian company with very little export. And the idea was, we have to grow. If we want to grow, we have to get international. And really, we went for the international markets. And after 23 years, we became really a well-distributed company in most of the countries around the world where there is some interest for design. It was not so complicated, because today, design is good for export. Every country wants design, and so it's not so complicated. But exporting kitchens is not so easy. The ratio of export of kitchens, of Italian kitchen producers, is only 25%. So we, with almost 80% of exports, we are the largest exporting kitchen company in Italy. One of the characteristics of our product is also that we have an incredible flexibility. We are able to provide almost any need of any difficult type of customer, in terms of shapes, in terms of materials, in terms of colors, in terms of designing whatever we want. And so we try to provide always a solution rather than sell a single product, because a single product can be copied very easily. You can design it very similar, while a solution is something much more complex. It's something that comes also from the value that you provide in terms of you, dealer, on the market with your customer in front of you, and really understanding what he wants and trying to provide to him what he really needs. Of course, we cannot have any compromise in terms of quality. That has to be the best possible we can offer. And again, work really having in mind that we have to provide tailor-made solutions. So really understand what the customer wants and be able to offer exactly. To do this, we work with many, many different designers that come from many different countries. Some are, let's say, most of them are Italians. But many, many of them, almost half of them, come from very different countries, like Germany, like France, UK, US, Japan, I hope India one day, really to be able to work with someone coming from here. Picking from each of them their characteristics and their natural way to propose something that is in line with Boffi. So their creativity, but applied to a sort of mainframe design path that Boffi wants to carry on during the years. And this is again Piero Lissoni. You remember the photo of Piero Lissoni at the beginning with a lot of hair? This is the aspect of Piero Lissoni after he has worked with me for 23 years. He lost most of his hair, but not his creativity. He's always incredibly creative. And he is really the person that is helping a lot in terms of understanding, the direction we have to take. So even if we work with many, many designers, Piero Lissoni is always in the back trying to, give a help to keep always this clear imprinting of Boffi on every product that we have, so that somebody reads better our creativity. Here we lost part of my slide, but this was a slide with also the way we do marketings in terms of graphics. we pay a lot of attention on the way our image is transferred, not only on the products, but also on the communication tools. So the invitations, the catalogs, everything that Boffi communicates towards the outside world has to be absolutely in clear coordination with the products. But the best vehicle for us in terms of marketing are our shops around the world. So the mono-brand shops on which we have invested really a lot of resources and energies are really the best vehicle for us to transfer what Boffi is. So we try to be in the best locations of every city around the world and have a shop where the image you find inside is in line with every other shop, so that if you get into the one of London or Paris or New York, you find more or less always the Boffi image clearly communicated. To do this and to instruct our people to be the best team in every shop, we have a lot of investment on training in a training department at the factory, where we bring our people that are working in the shops and we really try to brainwash them so much so that they come out of those trainings that are fighters for Boffi, and in every shop they are able to provide the best possible service. I'll give you an example of a problem that you may have sometimes when you install kitchens or bathrooms with somebody in London or in New York that is really not so easy, not so such a simple customer. We had a customer that wanted one of our bathtubs. We have a bathtub that is a big bathtub in stone, weighing 800 kilos. Those bathtubs are very difficult to handle. You need 10 people to manage and bring them up in each house. And this guy wanted to have the bathtub without ruining anything of his perfectly constructed house. So before closing the roof of the house, he said, I want this bathtub with an helicopter inside my living room, in the middle of my living room, because I like that bathtub so much that I want it in the living room, because it's such an incredible object that I want to lie inside and watch TV, read my books, and stay in my bathtub in the middle of the living room. So before the house was closed, we went there with an helicopter, put the bathtub in the middle of his living room, closed everything, and the delivery was fantastic. And this is my last slide, where I would like to recapitulate that the success of a company is made out of many, many different things. So this is a picture where history and entrepreneurship, creativity, innovation, being able to provide solutions, but being flexible with a fantastic production tool, paying attention to image, and having a fantastic international network. This is all together makes a success of a company like ours. But forgetting one of these becomes sometimes a problem. Thank you very much for your attention.